What's happening? AI is increasingly being utilized by employers for interviews and resume screenings using technologies like Applicant Tracking Systems, ATS. Even though applicant tracking systems have been around since the 1990s, with the addition of AI, it is going to take the experience to an all new level. Text-based, audio, and video. In a text-based interaction, it will analyze your response and compare it to previously successful employees and also compare it to what is considered to be the best response. In an audio interaction, the tone of your voice will be analyzed and can also determine your overall communication skills. Lastly, in a video interaction, facial expressions and body language will be analyzed, very similar to how an FBI profiler does it. When preparing for an AI interview, here are some important things you want to keep in mind. Understand the format of the interview: text, audio, video. Practice your typing, your speaking. Be clear, concise, and specific. Pay attention to your body language and your tone. We know the employer has access to AI, and now so do you. So let's have some fun. Alright, so we are going to prepare for an AI or a human interview with 6 custom prompts. This demo simulates an AI interview using ChatGPT, and the additional prompts I will add to the description covering search strategies, interview preparation, etiquette, common questions, and post-interview guidance. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and put a prompt in here. And this is just prepping ChatGPT to think the way I want him to think. So the first thing I do is I tell the system that he's an expert and these are the questions I want him to ask me. And then I tell him to only ask me one question, and that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and start. So the question I get, and let me just grab my response thing. Dun, 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 dun. That in there. And then I want to tell him to, based on my response, I want to get some feedback. I want to know why he asked the question, and I want to know what the best response would have been. So now I'm going to go ahead and put in my response, typing it in or translating it, however you want to do it. Challenging situation and how I handled it. And go ahead and hit enter here. And what this will do is it's going to give me the feedback of how the AI thought I answered the question. It's going to give me the reasons behind why he asked me the question, and then give me the best responses. So now I'm just going to say, ask another question. Cool team member or colleague, and how did you handle it? And I'm going to go ahead and answer this one kind of funny, and we'll see how he judges me on it. I just decided I wasn't going to work with him. I got tired of working with the guy. He was difficult to work with. Every single thing I brought up, he did not want to do. It was a terrible situation, and that's why I left the company. Go ahead and hit send, and you'll see he's going to give me the feedback because that was definitely the worst answer in the world. It's more information, goes through it, and again, STAR method. STAR method is probably one of the best things to use. Wisely used approach, and this is what you should have used. So he tells you right away, you should have gave the situation, gave the task, the action, and the result. So good stuff on that one. So then I started thinking, these questions are very generic. They're not really based on anything. There's no basis to these questions because they're just common questions. So when I was recording this video, I started thinking, I wonder if there's a better way to use AI to take my resume and then take any job description off of any job site, postings, wherever it comes from, put those two together and see how good it is. So we're gonna quickly go through that. I don't have a fancy UI because, you know, I coded this up late one night, finished it like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then started recording. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. Hopefully you enjoy it. So what this does is it imports the job description, imports the resume. It then applies a scoring and a reason. So then it analyzes the two and provides a score, how good I scored against it, and then the reason of why it gave me that score. It then creates pros and cons of my resume matched up to the job. It then lets me know how to create some improvements to my resume. As long as they're factual, don't make things that are not true. And then it creates a bunch of interview questions, but the interview questions are based on the resume and the job description. So not like the one in ChatGPT where they're just generic ones. These are specific ones for me. So I do hope you enjoy this. It was, you know, a couple late hours at night. Oh, right. That was nice. All right, so what it does here is it's going to go through and it tells me it imported the 2 files, created 40 questions. I gave 10 different improvements, some pros and cons, and it scored me an 80. So the minimum score, I didn't get a 75. The minimum score was a 75. I received an 80 on this one. Then it tells me why I scored an 80. It tells me any missing requirements that I had. It gives me the pros and cons of the information on my resume compared to the job description. How I can make some improvements, make sure what I can do to improve my resume before I send it off to this job posting. And then it gives me behavioral questions and technical questions and situations, but these questions are geared heavily towards the job I'm applying for. So kind of a cool little thing I threw together. I will put it into a GitHub repository, so if you do have any type of background in development, you should be able to download this and run it yourself. You should be able to copy any description from any posting and compare it against your resume. I hope this was entertaining and fun, and thank you very much for watching.